In the earlier class, we have been discussing about different basic concepts under electrical appliances. We have defined the electric current, voltage, and we have also explained about Ohm's law, differences between conductors and insulators, and so on. Today, I will explain about combination of resistances. Resistances can be combined in any electrical circuit in two ways. One is series combination, another one is parallel combination, or in some cases there may be mixed series and parallel combinations may be there. So now I will explain about the series combination of resistances. Resistances in series. If number of resistances are connected one after another in a row between two terminals of the battery, then it is called a series combination. If number of resistors are connected one after another in a row to a battery, then they are connected in series. If number of resistors are connected one after another in a row to a battery, then they are said to be connected in series. Now in this figure, say this is one resistor, another resistor, another resistor. These three resistors are connected to a battery that is capable of supplying a voltage V. This is the resistance R1, this is the resistance R2, this is R3. These are the three resistors R1, R2, R3 are connected to a battery of voltage V. So in the circuit R1, R2, R3 are connected in series to a battery. As a result, the current will pass through a circuit. Same current passes through all resistors. So then current I passes through all resistors. Current is passed through all resistors. Equal current is passed through all resistors. That is equal to total current. Now, the potential difference across the resistors will be shared by all resistors depending on their resistance value. According to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Therefore, the potential difference across R1 is equal to IR1, across second resistance IR2, across third resistance IR3. These are the two voltage drops across resistors Therefore, let voltage drop across resistors. V1 is equal to IR1, V2 is equal to IR2, V3 is equal to IR2. Therefore, total voltage V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, that is equal to voltage supplied by the battery. Therefore, if equivalent resistance is equal to IR, equivalent drop IR, resistance is equal to R, then V is equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Therefore, I gets cancelled all across all. IR is equal to IR1 plus R2 plus R3. These two gets cancelled, therefore equivalent resistance R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R2. Therefore, when resistors are connected in series, the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of resistances that are connected in series. Therefore, resistors increases when they are connected in series and is equal to the total number of resistors. Resistance of all resistors which are connected in series. Now, generally where we use these resistors, generally these decorating lights are connected in series. Decorating lights are connected in series. Where we require more resistance, then those has to be connected in series. Similarly, there is another combination called resistances in parallel. Resistances in parallel. Resistances in parallel. If number of resistors are connected, R1, R2, R3, these are connected together and they are connected to a battery between common terminals. If number of resistors are connected together between two common terminals, then they are said to be in parallel. If resistors are connected together between two common terminals, then those are said to be connected in parallel. So in this figure, resistance R1, R2, R3 are connected together in parallel between terminals of the battery when resistors are connected in parallel, the voltage across them is same. Same voltage will be there across all resistors. Potential difference is same across all the resistors. That is equal to voltage supplied by the battery. However, so then potential difference is same across all resistors, but current divided and passes as I1, I2, I3 respectively. So current through this resistance is I1, through this resistance is I2, and through this resistance is I3. But potential difference is same. Therefore, total current is equal to total current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. But I is equal to V by R. Therefore, V by R across first resistance, V by R1 across second resistance, V by R2 across third resistance, current is equal to V by R2. So, V by R1, V by R2, V by R3 across third resistance. Therefore, V is common across all of them. Therefore, 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Therefore, reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of reciprocals of all resistors which are connected in parallel. Therefore, if number of equal resistors are connected, then if R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 and so on is equal to smaller, then 1 by R is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R plus and so on. Therefore, 1 by R equivalent is equal to N by R. Therefore, R equivalent is equal to R by N. So, in the case of parallel combination of resistors, the equivalent resistance decreases. So, in order to reduce the resistance, those have to be connected in parallel. And another one, suppose if you have number of resistors, different values, say this is some 500 ohm, this is say 200 ohm, and this is 1 ohm. When number of resistors are connected in parallel, their equivalent resistance is always less than the lowest resistors that is connected in the circuit when they are in parallel. So, in parallel combination, the equivalent resistance is always less than the lowest value of resistance that is connected in parallel. Now, so this is the parallel combination of resistors. And now we shall study about electrical capacitance. ability of a conductor to store electric charge is called its capacity. The ability of electrical device to store electric charge is called its capacity. The ability of electrical device to store an electric charge in it is called electrical capacity. Suppose if you have a conductor like this, when certain charge is given to it, then it acquires a potential. If we add some more charge, then the potential also increases to higher value. So as we go on increasing the charge, the potential also gradually increases, and at a particular stage, if we add any more charge, then that will move away from the conductor in the form of sparks, because it could not store more than that electric charge. So that ability is called electric capacity. If Q is charged, and V is potential of the conductor, Q is directly proportional to V, or Q is equal to CV, where constant of proportionality C is called capacity. C is capacity of the conductor. Therefore, C is equal to Q by V. Therefore, ratio of electric charge to the potential is called capacity of the conductor. The ratio of charge to the potential of the conductor is called its capacity. So here, capacity means it is not a muscle power, it is capacity to store electric charge. Now, this capacity is measured in terms of SI unit. If charge is equal to 1 coulomb, C is equal to Q by V. 1 coulomb divided by 1 volt, that is equal to 1 farad. Farad is unit of electrical capacity. Capacity is measured in farad. Now, the farad is very large size unit, because the capacity of our entire earth is equal to 700 microfarads. Therefore, capacity. Farad is very large unit. Very large unit. Your capacity of earth, C is equal to 700 microfarad. That means 7 into 10 to the power of minus 4 farad. Or in the other way, that is equal to 0.0007 farad. So, very large unit of the capacity is. That's why we use smaller units in capacity. Microfarad and picofarad. Therefore, 1 microfarad is equal to 10 to the power of minus 6 farad. 1 picofarad is equal to 10 to the power of minus 12 farad. Or in the other way, there is a nano also. Nanofarad is equal to 10 to the power of minus 9 farad. In this manner, we use smaller units for capacitor. We use only these units, very small units, as the farad is very large unit. Now, these capacitors circuit symbol are represented by, it is represented by like this. There will be two terminals having equal area. This is the circuit symbol of electrical capacitor. Now, these capacitors are used in almost all electrical circuits. These capacitors are widely used in electric circuits. Such as fans, stabilizer or inverter, stabilizer, tube light, all electrical appliances we use capacitor. So in a fan, there will be a small device in the form of a cylinder. That device is called capacitor. In electric motor, we use capacitor. Why we use electrical capacitors? Because those will store electric charge. Whenever you want to start any electrical device, for initiating the motion, it requires large electric power, and that extra power will be supplied by the capacitor to the device. That's why for stabilizing the voltage, these capacitors are used. Therefore, these capacitors are used to reduce voltage fluctuations. Stabilizers. It will stabilize the voltage. And it is used to store electric charge. At relatively low potential, even at a small lower potential, it can store electric charge for greater extent. Now, that is about capacitor. Let us have another device called galvanometer. This galvanometer is generally represented as circuit symbol. Like this, it will be there, and it is represented in form of G. It is represented by G. Now, what is the use of galvanometer? It is a device used to detect electric current in the circuit. If electric current is passing through the circuit, then when the galvanometer is connected, it gets deflected. It is a very sensitive device. It is very sensitive device. And can detect very small currents also. Very small currents also. Now, when higher currents passes through the galvanometer may burn out in the circuit. Therefore, to protect the galvanometer from higher currents, we add a shunt resistance. To protect the galvanometer from higher currents, resistance is connected. Parallel to it. It is called, that resistance is called shunt resistance. It is called shunt resistance. So, a small resistance connected parallel to the galvanometer to protect it from higher current is called shunt resistance. Now, this galvanometer can be converted either into an ammeter or voltmeter. It can be converted into either ammeter or voltmeter. So, let us discuss about the ammeter. Ammeter circuit symbol is similar to that of the galvanometer. Circuit symbol of ammeter is similar to that of the galvanometer, but it is represented by A. A is the ammeter. So it is a device used to measure electric current in amperes. So I have already told you that electric current is measured in ampere. So this ammeter device is used to measure electric current in ampere units. So a galvanometer can be converted. A galvanometer can be converted into ammeter by connecting suitable small resistance in parallel. A galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter. Suppose this is the galvanometer. If we connect a suitable small resistance parallel to it, that is called as shunt resistance, then this galvanometer will be converted into ammeter. This is called, now the shunted galvanometer is called ammeter. This entire device is called ammeter. The maximum current that can be measured by using this ammeter is called range of the ammeter. The maximum current that can be measured by ammeter is called its range. That is called range of the ammeter. You can have different ammeters with different ranges. That means some ammeters may be, say, 100 microamperes, milliamperes, even amperes. You can have different ranges of values, different ranges of the ammeters, depending on the current which we are going to measure. You can have different ammeters with different ranges, These ammeters should be ammeters should always be connected in series in the electric circuit. So it is always connected in series in the electric circuit. Now, let me introduce about another device called voltmeter. Circuit symbol is similar, and just it is represented by V, voltage, V. So, because it measures voltage between two terminals, so it is called as voltmeter. So, voltmeter is a device. It is a device used to measure potential difference between terminals in volts. Voltmeter is a device that measures potential difference between 2 points in volts. Now, this can be converted. A galvanometer can be converted into voltmeter by connecting suitable high resistance in series with it. So when a high resistance is connected in series with the galvanometer, then it can be converted into voltmeter. You see here, suitable small resistance in parallel, suitable high resistance in series in the case of voltmeter. So suppose if this is the galvanometer. If we connect high resistance in series, then this entire arrangement, this galvanometer together with the high resistance is called voltmeter. Is called voltmeter. A galvanometer together with a high resistance connected in series is called voltmeter. Now, similarly, the maximum voltage that can be measured with the voltmeter is called its range. The maximum potential difference that can be measured is called its range. Its range. That is called its range. We can have different voltmeters. Even if we are required to measure very small voltage, even millivolts also, you can have voltmeter. That is called as millivoltmeter. And sometimes you need to measure in micro voltage in volts, and you can have different voltmeters of different ranges. 1 volt, 5 volt, 10 volt, 100 volt, 1000 volt, 500 volts, like that. You can have different voltmeters of different ranges depending on the voltage to be measured. These voltmeters must be always connected in parallel in the circuit. So, wherever you want to measure the potential difference between 2 points, there you will connect voltmeter of the terminals of the voltmeter to the 2 points in parallel. So, these are the about ammeter, voltmeter and galvanometer. And there is another device called multimeter. So what is multi? It is multi-purpose. So this multimeter, you can measure current, you can measure voltage, you can measure resistance, even capacitance, and so on. You can measure these are both ways. It can be used for 2 purposes. It can be measured either current or voltage or resistance, ohm meter. So all parameters can be measured by using this multimeter. While doing the practicals, you will come across these multimeters where we use the multimeter for measurements of voltage, current and resistances.